Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments. I had so many from yesterday. It was just delightful to read through them all. So thank you for all of your support. I am extremely happy. Okay, so let's get down and dirty. We have a membership program running. If you would like to support the channel or join us for a membership, all the details are below. If you'd like a personal reading with me, it is the Aussie Goddess, all one word, at gmail.com, and I can send you details. What else can I talk about? I am doing the reading for Cancer this morning, so you can look out for that after I finish the What's Cracking reading. And I think that's everything. I did pull out a new deck though. I'm actually thinking of doing some giveaways with decks. So what I did last time was, because a lot of people lived overseas, the first time I did it and I paid for everything and it was quite costly. So last time I said, if you'd like a deck from me, an oracle deck or a tarot deck, then I'm more than happy to send it to you if you are happy to pay the postage. So if you would like to do that, please email me. And I've got quite a lot of decks there that and if they're small decks, then I'll probably put in an oracle card and a tarot card deck. So if you're interested in doing that, please email me. I know people missed out last time, but they're generally decks that I've bought that I really don't resonate with. And I may have used them a few times online, but not felt that they were exactly right. So please email me and I'll organise for you. I think that's everything. I still have a glut of t-shirts there too, but I think I might do those as giveaways. All right, we'll get on with this and we'll see how we go. So we're using the Tarot of the Golden Wheel here today, which I think is an absolutely gorgeous deck. And we do have the Emperor coming straight out. So the Emperor can represent somebody who's in a position of power. I always feel that more so someone who's powerful. So I don't mean in a negative way. I never think of powerful as in, manipulative or, having a hold over you, that type of thing. The Emperor is the card that represents divine masculine. So for me, it could be, like a father figure or a teacher that you that you go to for advice. It can be somebody like that. It can also be somebody like a counselor, or it can be, I don't always see this as like a manager or anything at work. It always makes me feel more leadership. The thing is with the Emperor, when it comes out, it can mean that you are stepping into your power. This is more masculine power when we see the Emperor. So it might mean that you've got an advancement at work, or you've stepped into a position as a leader at work. It could also mean that you are feeling very powerful, but more in that sort of masculine energy, as opposed to the Empress, which is more female energy. We do have the High Priestess behind here, which is quite interesting. Let me just go one more. Page of Swords. To me, this makes me feel, so the High Priestess is very much about our intuition, who we are at a soul level. It's similar again to the Emperor Empress in that it represents our feminine aspect. So, the High Priest, or the Hierophant, as generally is known in the tarot, are again those polar opposites of masculine, feminine. When I see the High Priestess, it says to me that you've more than likely become over time perhaps more in tune with your psychic ability. This would be the sort of energy I would see if you were starting up your own business, for example, and it was in the esoteric arts. Standing there, taking back your power, but trusting yourself to move forward on something. But this has come, whatever this is, has come as a result of some sort of communication here. And we do have the Two of Pentacles. So for me, I feel like there's some sort of advancement. I do feel like, even though it's not particularly evident here, that it's possible this could be in a work environment. So you may have been looking for work, and you may have been trusting yourself to look for something that was more in line with your skills. Maybe you've been doing work. We all do this. We go into a job and we're in a job at a certain level, and we are working, we're doing everything. Maybe we step in for management, we're doing everything, we're budgeting, maybe, writing policy. I've been all through this, but we never have the courage to actually apply for that next level. And when you do, that whole imposter syndrome creeps in where you're like, am I going to be able to do this? Freaking out about it, worrying about it. But in reality, a lot of the time we freak and get anxious. We actually have much capability. So it feels to me like either you are looking for a role or a job or even a business that is more in line with your capability. And that might make you a little bit nervous because, as I said, you're going to do the whole, am I going to be able to do this job? I don't want to say good enough, but we do go through the am I good enough thing. But clearly we are ready when we think we're ready. So, at the end of the day, if you want to step into management, if you want to, take that one step further, I can see a bird flying. So I feel like you are ready to take flight. And it's sort of like the energy of really knowing that you are ready, but doubting yourself. Your ego is kicking in. So to me, that energy of those cards either means that you're getting either an interview or you're getting noticed for doing something. Now, it could be because it's esoteric that you've scored perhaps a role in a business or, some sort of, when I first started out, the first time I got accepted into a fair, and I was so excited about it. And I was so nervous about it. And I remember, toying up those two ideas, am I going to be okay? But see, the thing is with reading, once you've been doing it for a while, it's like driving a car. When you first get your driver's license and you get in the car and you have to think about what roads I'm going to take, what turns I'm going to take, how long it's going to take me to get there, how to get to where I'm going, and you have to go all through those sort of mechanics. When you've been driving for a while, you get in your car, you end up at your destination, and half the time you don't remember the journey in between, or maybe little snippets. But I feel like reading tarot, when you start to read for people, because you are so invested in the other person's energy, you seem to float through it very, very well. And perhaps at times it can be a little bit more, challenging, but at the end of the day, that's the way it sort of feels like it goes. And I think that if you are nervous about doing that, you will find that after a period of time, it will just flow from you naturally. You don't have to really focus on the cards. You trust the energies. You trust the energy of the person you're reading for. So I feel like somehow or another, you could be getting some sort of work in that field where you're starting to sort of maybe think you're not ready or whatever. Or it could be in a job. It doesn't feel like a relationship at this point in time for many of you, so I feel like it's some sort of achievement. It could be, for example, that you've decided to do university or take on a course that you always thought was out of your league, or whether or not I hear and see people do this all the time. I'm not sure if I'm smart enough to do that. And I think, of course you are. And if you're not, you can read a book, you can go online, you can listen to audiobooks, you can watch things on YouTube. If you're unsure, then maybe find some way to do something to prove to yourself that you are absolutely 100% capable. So let's have a look where we're going. All right, so funnily enough, I do have the Two of Cups coming out, but it could be that you're embarking on a partnership. The Tower tells me that things are going to be turned right upside down for you. You have a lot of energy around a decision, so I feel like whatever this decision is, it is going to... So immediately with that, I get this energy of going backwards and forwards all the time. So you don't feel ready, so you say no. And then a week later, why did I say no? I was so able to do that. I know I could have done that, but you've said no. So I always say to people, if you need time to think about something, don't give an answer straight away. Most people will give you a bit of wiggle room. You know, if somebody from uni says you've just been accepted into uni and you're not really sure, you've got a closeout date. If you've been asked to go into a partnership, then say to the person, I really would love to, but I want to consider whether, you know, this is the right move for me at this time of my life. Whatever. But what I'm feeling here, Three of Swords with the Six of Swords, a lot of sword energy. Now, it may be for some of you a relationship. I have got this little bit of feeling that underneath here, there's a Scorpio energy hanging around here. And it makes me feel like there's some sort of great change in regard to a relationship. I don't feel like it's stepping away from a relationship in so much as deciding if you want a relationship. And that's, we've all done that too. You know, you sort of start dating someone and, you know, they might want to move a little more quickly than you do, and you're not really sure whether you want to have that commitment at that point in time. Say, a decent person will give you the time to work out whether it's right for you or not. If someone's pressuring you, probably best not to. But I feel like it's okay. If they're saying I need to start someone next week, I can give you 24 hours, then great. But if somebody says, no, you've got to give me an answer right here, right now, well, then maybe it isn't the right way to go. But what I'm feeling here is if you decided to knock this back, whether it's a relationship, a job, an opportunity for business, if you knock it back, you're going to look back and wonder why you did that in the moment. So no matter what, ask for time. All right, we have the Eight of Cups over the Six of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune. The universe feels like it's time. You do have the Hanged Man coming out here with the King of Pentacles. So I do feel for some of you this may be the offer of a relationship for sure. But if it's the offer of a relationship, it's something perhaps you're considering whether it's the right time to go into a relationship or whether you just want to keep things like casual, at least for the time being. I don't feel you rushing into anything here. I do see a lot of thinking, a lot of thinking. So perhaps you are stepping into your power. Perhaps you are making a decision to go the extra mile. I do feel here with the High Priestess, though, it is about trusting your intuition. There's some sort of communication, some sort of offer coming in that's got you sort of wondering if it's the right time. We do have the Devil card coming through here, so I know there's a lot of fear, but I do have the Lovers behind that too. So a choice needs to be made. Being I do have the Two of Cups with the Lovers card, it is very possible here that for some of you, you're dealing with a water sign, or in particular Pisces, Cancer, coming through very strongly. I just don't feel like you're either ready to make a commitment, ready to jump into a relationship, ready to jump into a partnership or a job, but this is more about you. Maybe you've done a lot of work on yourself and you have the confidence, but maybe you're sort of, as I said, your ego is kicking in a little bit with that whole imposter syndrome thing. And if you're not sure what the imposter syndrome is, if you've had a very difficult time coping with your own confidence and self-esteem, if you were doubted very, very much in your younger years, then you carry this idea that you are not who you think you are. So when your real self battles with your ego, then you can get this imposter syndrome, and it makes you feel like you're never quite good enough. And I remember trying to get validation a lot because of that. And I had a beautiful manager I worked for in Brisbane many years ago, and I remember going to her and standing in her doorway, and I felt that I was going okay. I didn't think I was brilliant at what I did at any time, but I remember saying to her, can I just get some feedback from you on how you think I'm going? And she said to me, how do you think you're going? I said, well, I think I'm going pretty well, but I didn't really know how to answer the question. And I think about it now, because after that, I just got awarded for, you know, high sales, and I got so many gifts and presents from the organisation for the amount of things I'd done. And I look back now and I think I just did not believe in myself at all. All right, we're going to read a card from the Les Vampires, which is a Lucy Cavendish. And if you love the art of Lucy Cavendish, you're going to love this deck. I haven't pulled it out for a long while. Oh, courtesy. thoughtful, polite, and good manners. But they are beautiful cards. Let's just have a look at her. It's quite interesting that that card's come out, though. Is our exquisite manners. I feel like here it says manners are a way of gracefully doing what must be done to smooth the difficulties we must all face and to create beauty amongst days that can be full of crude squalor. So I feel like somehow, see, under the current circumstances, to speak the truth, but to do so with grace and diplomacy and the least offence possible. This means to work out what it is you wish to achieve in the forthcoming discussions and how to best appease the offence which has already flared. With manners, diplomacy, and thoughtfulness, you may still navigate this treacherous stretch of your life. It is worth being kind, truthful, and yet graceful. I feel like here it's asking you perhaps to be really thoughtful around what you want. So it's good to appreciate other people. It's good to be thankful for what you've been offered. But at the end of the day, even if you're backing out gracefully, remember this is for you. And think about it before you say yes or no. All right, I'll leave you with that. Thank you.